Good morning. Welcome back to my kitchen again. I bet you're wondering what I'm gonna make this morning. Well, I got out my beans. Yep, I got out my beans that I bought, I don't know, months ago. I decided to make a picture for my kitchen and I didn't like how it turned out. This was the picture. And it's of a rooster to match and things in my kitchen, but I just didn't care for how it turned out. So in saving the beans, because beans are beans and you don't want, you know, just to throw them away, I took out this one and this one. Yes, I took everything out except for the little lentils, and there was some rice in here, and I don't know, a couple of other, I had another package of black beans and everything. And I thought, okay, now what can I do with all of this? I'm not making a 15 bean soup. That's not what I'm making this morning. So what I have is, I have Great Northern beans. I have some black beans. I have the light red kidney beans, ones that are called cranberry beans. Canary. Yeah, I got birds on my mind this morning. Some good old pinto beans, some smaller red beans. These Mayakoba beans, which I really hadn't heard of. I didn't get the garbanzo beans because I was doing this picture and I didn't want that much of a raised bean on the picture. Then I did get the little green split peas. And this one I had, which was just a little variety of beans. Okay, so with that being said, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 15 bean soup, don't I? Almost. And for you young people out there that say, well, what is a 15 bean soup? A 15 bean soup will come in a package like these, and it's got a variety of different beans in it, about probably 15 different varieties of the beans. And I think it even has a little seasoning packet in there. You just put it all in a pot, you know, and make your soup. But that's not what I'm gonna make today. So in doing any kind of a hard bean like this, you need to, if you're not putting it in a slow cooker, and I'm not today, then you need to soak your beans overnight. And so I did last night. And I took out about a half a cup of beans out of each one of these sacks. And I put in a bowl, and then I filled the whole thing with cool water where it covered the whole top part of all of the beans. And I let that, you know, rest overnight. And that makes the bean pop in size. You know, it's not quite soft enough to eat, but it did pop in size, and they get twice the size, and that's my beans to start with. So we're gonna start with the beans. Put all this away. All those beans, because I'm not going to waste them. There's so many beans there that I could be using those for a lot of things. I really could. But today I'm going to make kind of a medley. A ham and bean medley is what I'm going to call this video. And I'm going to use a cute little pot that I got yesterday. Isn't this adorable for fall? I love fall. I'm in the mood for everything that has to do with fall. And I found this yesterday, and this is actually a cast iron Dutch oven pan. It's coated inside of an enamel coating. And so I'm going to start with putting in just a couple of things. First, I'm going to take out a good couple scoops here and get them started of these beans. The nice black beans, give it color in here. These split peas, give it a nice color in here. Real nice. Probably about half of that's going to go with beans. Okay, then I'm going to take, because we need more ingredients. So we're going to take, if you can see all of this, the beans here. We're going to take some celery and put in here. And I have 5 little stalks here, but we'll see, you know, how many I want to put in. And you just want to cut these just kind of bite size. You can cut them right down the middle if you don't like that large of a, they're not really that big, you know, like this. They're not that big. I just thought this would taste really good today. It's cool. It's cooled down in Colorado now because we are in fall. And let's see, my temperature right now reads 55 degrees outside. But, you know, when it gets down to 46, and that's kind of what it was yesterday, about 46 to 48 degrees, you know, that's a cool day. And for where I live down here anyway. And so I thought this would taste yummy. I haven't done the beans in quite a while, and husband's home for a few days, and he thought this was going to be a great idea to have this. And I don't blame him on that, because it is. I can get it in the pot here. Then I'm going to take an onion, and we'll cut it up again where it's more bite-size. Bite-size. I hope you all have had a nice fall start to your season, that maybe you've gotten a lot of things done out in your yard, or you're getting ready for, you know, the holidays are right around the corner. They really are. I'm having company this year for Thanksgiving, and I'm thrilled about that. And while I was out yesterday in the stores, I was thinking about what they had on the news about you better start getting your stuff, your presents for Christmas and all that now, because it's not going to be there at the time that we want it for Christmas. And okay, so now I set out the same thing, about 5 different carrots. It's always to have more than less. So I'm just going to take my carrots and cut them on a angle here, and that's really just for presentation. You can cut it however you want, but it looks nice in the pot when you have it on an angle. Ooh, that onion was pretty strong. Makes my eyes water a little bit. Halloween's coming up, and I don't do a whole lot on Halloween. Kids are all grown and gone, so I don't have to worry about trick-or-treat costumes and all that kind of stuff. And where I live, there really aren't that many trick-or-treaters that come to the door. My granddaughter will be coming, and I'll kind of treat her, but I just don't have to worry about all of that. One of my sons is having a nice Halloween party, costume party. Those were always fun. I remember that at work, that I was the boss, and I would tell my employees, let's dress up, you know, for that day. And it would be on a Friday, because usually Halloween came on the weekend. So on that last Friday, I would have them all dress up. And then I always told them to bring a pumpkin, you know, whether you decorate it, paint it, whatever you do, bring a pumpkin. And let's see who's the most creative in doing a pumpkin. And they would come and they would do that. Okay, so that's it right there so far. So far I have that of just having the beans and the onion, celery, and carrots. Now I'm going to put in the meat part, which is my ham. And I had a spiral ham. Husband didn't think it was a spiral. He wanted a, just kind of like a, not a picnic ham, but just a nice little ham that he wanted, and he doesn't really like a spiral ham. And I said, well, then you go pick out the ham, you know, while I get other things that I'm getting. Okay, he would do that. So, got all the way home, and I get it out of the package to cook it. And I said, you did realize that you bought another spiral ham? No, he said. I said, yeah, it's cut, it's spiral. But that's okay. It was very, very good, and he ate it anyway. I'm just going to kind of cut off a few areas that have, you know, a lot of the fat. I don't want certain big chunks of fat in there. Anytime I make ham, usually, I like to put mine, because these spiral hams are already pre-cooked, I like to put mine in the crock pot. And the way I do my hams, that always come out great, is that same with my brisket and beer. I take a can of Coca-Cola. I really do. I take a can of Coke, and I put the ham down in the crock pot first, and then I just open a can of Coke, and I pour the whole Coke all over that ham. And then I put the lid on and I walk away. I put it on high and walk away. And it gives it the best flavor. Most of the time, I don't even have to add that little seasoned packet that's inside of a ham that gives a kind of a brown sugar glaze that you put on. I don't even have to do that because that Coke in there caramelizes and makes it, oh my gosh, tastes so good. And that's what's on this one, is that nice flavor. Okay, so depending on who is at your house, you know, whether you're doing it for 2 people, 4 people, 6, 8, however many, you'll have to judge on how much ham. You'll have to judge on how much, because I'm not really measuring today. I'm just kind of winging it like I usually do, just eyeballing what I want in this pot. And that's what I'm going for, is I'm putting all that goodness in there. Okay, so we've got the ham in, and that's the meat part, and all of our beans, which is going to be really, really nice. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of seasoning to this, that I'm going to put a little bit of paprika, just a little bit in there. I would say probably, I'm going to say a good teaspoon of paprika. That you can measure out if you want, a good teaspoon of paprika. That all over my hands this morning. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic, not much, but just a little bit. Husband likes the garlic. Then I'm going to take some nice peppercorn pepper, grind that up in there. You can always add as you go along. I will be periodically tasting this to make sure that I like everything in here. You don't require a whole lot of salt with the ham because it's kind of a salty meat anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Now, I didn't have in my pantry this morning, I didn't have some just diced tomatoes. I did have the stewed tomatoes, and that's okay. I'm all for using whatever you have in your house. Whatever you have in your house, go ahead and use. And I can chop these up to almost diced size anyway. And I love a stewed tomato, I really do. Okay, then we're going to pour some water in here. And I'm going to put this on my stove, and I'm going to cook this for, I'm going to cook it on probably a medium high to high for a good 40 minutes, just to get these carrots nice and done, and the celery, and yes, the onions. Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look good? And yes, we can cover it with the lid. These are heavy little pots, but I just thought they were adorable. And you're gonna say, well, you had an awful lot more beans left over. Well, yes, I did. So I'm going to take some to my neighbor. Right here is another cute little pot that I got, and I can take same thing. I'm just gonna put the beans all in here. And start all over the remaining of the tomatoes in here, and do the whole same thing with this pot. And then I'm gonna have 2 pots going at the same time of this nice little medley of a bean. You can call it a soup, you can call it whatever you want to, but I'm just calling it my ham and bean medley today. And I am going to be having some cornbread with this. So after it's cooked for quite a little while, I'll pop back on and show you how soft it is and how rich looking it is. And then we'll just kind of go from there as far as getting it all done today. But that is my little video so far, so I'll catch you here in just a little while. I'm checking back in on my ham and bean medley to see how it's cooking. Now, I cooked it for quite a little while on high just to get my carrots And the celery all nice and soft. And it's cooking very well, both pots. My cute little pots. In here, cooking just fine. Now I'm going to add to this. Give it just a little bit more flavor. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice in here. Not much, but just a little bit to each one. Take out the little seed that fell down in there. Don't need that in there, do we? It smells wonderful in my kitchen again. It really does. A good stir again. Yes, that's going to be really nice. Getting ready to make some cornbread to go with this, and I think I've got a nice fall, feel-good dinner tonight. I really do. I think husband will be pleased with this. Whatever I have left over, like I said, I'm going to take to my 92-year-old neighbor. She would appreciate this, and probably have a lot of leftovers that I can freeze or, you know, take to somebody else if I want to. So this is my cute little video on my ham and bean medley. I hope you like it and go to my like page or share page on Facebook. You can also watch me on YouTube now. And if you like the cute little pots, I'll be putting those on, they're Dutch oven pots. I'll be putting those on my website, cookingwithcaroldiane.com, under the gadgets, so that you can find these and have a nice fall surprise in your kitchen too. So from my kitchen to yours, happy fall, everyone. Check with you later. Bye-bye now.